It's a shame that it's gotten to the point to where you can't even give your opinion or, basically assess something without people coming after you. So it appears that this whole thing with Janet Jackson and her comments towards Kamala Harris questioning her natural ethnicity basically turned out to be a bunch of baloney. Now, it appears that Janet Jackson stands on her statements. Now, keep in mind, people reported that she was harassed and bullied into issuing an apology, which I'm going to talk about people trying to be the word police, and how people are inconsistent with their outrage, and how I'm about to prove once again that people just like to try to bully and harass black men when it pertains to certain situations and fake outrage. And it's got to come a time where somebody just gonna have to stand tall and stand on a circle and just basically tell the so-called purity and word police to basically go to hell. But nevertheless, in case you guys didn't know, which I was on the fence on whether I wanted to even cover this subject, but I'll talk about it briefly. And this is probably the last time I'm going to talk about this. But apparently, Janet Jackson, issued a statement basically questioning Kamala Harris' ethnicity, her true ethnicity, about her being masquerade and paraded around as a fake black person, which uh, Kamala Harris to me isn't black. But anybody who challenges that, you have people, the bootlegs, come after them. D.L. Hughley became unhinged again and started attacking Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson is far more established and did more for the lady than D.L. Hughley ever, attacking black men. Relationship with Jermaine Dupri did not work out. Issue any comments talking about Jermaine Dupri. And Janet Jackson have always been quiet about that kind of stuff, about her love life. And Janet Jackson is one of them people that likes to protect her privacy. So, and when I think about it, how Janet Jackson was harassed and basically they just strictly pointed the finger at her with, the wardrobe malfunction, what happened at the Super Bowl, and how they kept harassing Janet Jackson when Janet Jackson apologized more than once for what happened at the Super Bowl. And then they tell her when she goes to the Grammys to apologize again. And Janet Jackson said, I'm not apologizing anymore. I've all apologized. I've addressed this. I'm not apologizing. So then they told her not to come to the Grammys. And she was like, cool. So how Janet Jackson was unfairly blacklisted is just amazing. To a certain degree, her musical career suffered a little bit. Now, we all know Janet Jackson is a successful actress. She's done a lot of different things. Janet Jackson played in what you would call a hood classic poetic justice. We all know who Janet Jackson is. But apparently, these statements that were supposed to got walked back were by somebody who apparently doesn't have any ties to Janet Jackson whatsoever. And he just basically took it upon himself to call himself issue an apology on behalf of Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson is managed by her brother Randy. So here, and I went and looked up this dude. Um, he looks weird, and he isn't, and he doesn't look black. So Janet Jackson should look into possibly pressing charges against this dude for basically impersonation. Said he was, and then he went as far to say that he got fired by Janet Jackson's team. But Janet Jackson's team have came out and said, hey, this dude has no affiliation with us whatsoever. Dude, we not talking about Diddy. We talking about Janet Jackson. I'm Diddy'd out. I already just spoke on the Diddy thing. I'm not gonna continue to talk about Sean Combs. Wait till the trial happens, and that's it. I'm not gonna spend days on top of days talking about Sean Diddy Combs. There's other things going on besides Sean Diddy Combs. To me, this whole more. So do not come on here asking me about Sean Combs. Over that stuff. I've said what needed to be said. I've spoke on it on 7/8's channel. I spoke on it on my channel. Let's wait till the facts come out. Let's wait till the trial starts. And then we'll take it from there. Sean Combs, somebody had to basically put him onto this title. Yeah. So I'm not going to spend any more time. Do not ask me to talk about Sean Combs. I've already said what needs to be said. I'm not gonna continue to make these videos about him. Let's just wait till the facts come out. Let's wait to reveal in court. If he gets to court, I'm playing it by let's wait and see. Now, with that being said, yeah. Well, it's not just Brian's trolls. This Tank got trolls too. So they're harassing my channel, but that's cool. Uh, that's cool. And then some other people, so I'm not worried about that. I'll be fine. but nevertheless, let's just get back to the subject at hand. You know, um, this is why Malcolm X said so many decades ago, over 50 years ago, this is why Black people should not rely on celebrities to be appointed our leaders. Because these dudes, some of these dudes are in their mid 50s, early 60s, and they're just becoming unhinged. You know, listen, at the end of the day, we're not always going to agree on something. And then, you got to pick and choose when you're going to resort to name calling. But just because somebody has a difference of opinion, and I think sometimes these dudes that are backing Kamala Harris are showing too much beta energy. Why not take the high road and say, hey, um, that's maybe possibly wrong, but no, Black people, oh, you're stupid, you're dumb, and if you don't do this, you're an idiot. And the name calling and the shaming don't work. It's not working anymore. It's going in one ear out the other. So all you Black women and Black men that are Kam Kam supporters, and you trying to insult us and harass us and try to bully us into um you basically bowing down and being obedient and pledging to Kamala Harris, that's not working. We're tuning y'all out, just like we're tuning these goofy Black women out that's on social media talking about these ridiculous demands for a Black man to be with them, or all these demands you gotta make and have, and resources, and this thing about you're a coward if you don't date a woman who has kids. And I'm gonna say this again, fuck your kids. Now, fuck your 5 kids by 6 different men. Broke bitch. Now, well, there you have it. Yeah, I said it. That's the mentality that we have now. We're not going for that anymore. So all this name calling and this shaming that that you see on television, that you see on social media with these people wagging their finger, like the worst thing that always just hurts Black people is lack of communication, because everybody have to come at somebody like they can punk you or they checking you and all that kind of stuff. It always has to come across as somebody putting you in your place. Instead of somebody saying, hey, we talked and we spoke and we decided to do this. And Black people have this mentality that if you get somebody to comply, that basically you check them or you punk them and all that kind of stuff. Well, it depends on when you can use that terminology, because that isn't always the situation. It could be because the other person decided, hey, for everybody's sake, for the better good or for the better worse or whatever the situation may be, we decided to basically settle this in a gentleman or woman like fashion, whatever the situation may be. If it's a woman on woman thing or man versus man thing. But this is where Black people go wrong every time. Just like Roland Martin came on that dude's platform, calling that dude out his name, saying he was stupid and all this stuff. And then when the dude ran up on Roland Martin was scared and he was hiding behind a woman. And, and then another thing that I saw, just because they're in somebody's face, you can't roughly gritty as libel. The only time you like are supposed to really grab somebody unless you see like pushing and shoving. But just because somebody confronts somebody, you ain't supposed to just grab somebody and try to take them down. Because guess what? Then you assaulted the person. You're liable. Guess what? Whatever company that you work for, they're facing a lawsuit. so, so you have to be careful with that. Something to give a word of advice, because I did security before. You just can't grab somebody just because you trying to call yourself flexing. Like, Gunner's bodyguards, when dude called him a snitch and dude tried to act like he wanted smoke. If he would have went over there and touched that dude would have sued the shit out of Gunner. So I'm just telling you guys, you need to understand politics. You can't rough somebody up. Now you can escort somebody out. You can escort somebody out. You can just say, hey man, but if you physically throw somebody on the ground, all bets are off. So, I wanted to put that out there. And people are gonna have to stop like getting so damn mad, because like I said, the dim and dummies are starting to show how emotionally unattached and unhinged they have became. They sit up there and say that, the other supporters, the Trump supporters, are hostile, but then they get just as hostile. So you can't have it both ways. You can't sit up there and say one group of people is hostile, but they're showing hostility towards people who have a difference of opinion. The same way people have the right to question Trump's intentions, we had a right to question Kamala's intentions. Why she would or why she wouldn't make a good president. But it seems to be this theme with the dim and dummies. If you question anything that Kamala Harris says, or question her past, or question, her being disingenuous, then all of a sudden here comes her supporters calling you out your name and trying to disrespect you. We all can have a right to our opinion. I have no problem with what Jen said. She has a right to her opinion. I don't even talk politics with people. I ain't been talking about this election. I don't want to talk about Trump. I don't want to talk about Kamala Harris. But we have the right. We have the right to question her intentions. So all this aggression that people have towards anybody that questions Kamala Harris, they're showing their side, and they're showing that they're no better. That have always been the thing with Democrats. All they do is point out what other people have allegedly did, the damage that other people have did, and they never talk about what they've done. They never want to address the question at hand. Why have black people, and particularly black men, have lost faith in them? That's the question at hand. Why have the Democratic Party fell out of favor with black people, and particularly the black man? One thing you see is too much emasculation towards the black man, too much uh, straight shaming. Any black man that stand up for himself and have a pulse, he's called toxic. How's being a man and have beliefs and wanting to represent, being an alpha male and being a proud straight black man represents toxic masculinity. Once again, fake words, fake labels. What the fuck does that even mean? Toxic masculinity. Oh, because I get it. I get it. Because you're not supposed to display masculinity as a black man. So that's all that come down to. Like I said, you have to watch these fake terminologies that they come with every so often. Because a lot of this stuff is aimed towards black men. From what you see going on in Hollywood, what you see going on with Diddy. So you have to be careful, and this is why I say tread water lightly, and this is why I also say stop letting people tie everything to black men. This stuff with Diddy has been going on forever. This has been going on since Hollywood first assembled. This stuff has been going on since the for over 100 years. These kind of weirdo parties. I mean, didn't y'all hear about guys like Errol Flynn and Rock Hudson and dudes like that, what they was into, and possibly Marlon Brando? So this stuff has been going on forever. All they did is just reword it and try to make it more horrendous than what it really is. And I broke this down. But like I said, I mean, DL Hughley just sounds ridiculous. He's starting to make a fool of himself more and more every day. You know, DL Hughley is just a cornball. You know, at the end of the day, he's a reject blood that went on to become a comedian. And to me, DL Hughley stopped being funny a long time ago. And DL Hughley loves to try to play this black card, you know, this black card power to the people card. But this is the same DL Hughley that goes on white media outlets talking about other black men. This the same dude that say Shannon Sharp is the Wendy Williams, the new age Wendy Williams, but he goes on DJ Blad to talk about another black man. So what does that tell you about? What does that tell you about DL Hughley? A lot. Well, it's been that way. It's been that way for years, decades. I mean, Operation Extension is been in full effect. I mean, that's just the fact. Well, DL Hughley need to be looking at the situation that went on with his daughter and how basically to a certain degree he failed his daughter. And that's what Monique was talking about. And once again, I don't really like to try to get too personal with these dudes, but some of these dudes just ask for it. Just like this idiot came on my channel, basically, which I knew he was going to do what I expected him to do. He was basically trying to make excuses for Tank not having the guts to stand up to TFU. Oh, well, he somehow, some way, he tried to make it about Terrence Crawford. I'm like, bro, Terrence Crawford already pulled up on Tiafimo Lopez, but he ain't said nothing about him calling him a monkey. Well, Tank ain't said nothing about Ryan Garcia's racism. We went and Terrence Crawford is two or three weight classes up from Ryan Garcia. We talking about Tank saying something, because Tank don't have no problem. And here's something else. Terrence Crawford humiliated Ellie Setback after he defeated Errol Spence, where he basically said, "Yeah, Ellie, I know you, man, sitting up there looking like a retard." So Terrence Crawford be standing on his circle. We know Tank don't. Or as some people would call him, the boxing Dada Man or Simple Jack. We might have to refer to Tank as Simple Tank, because Tank don't have no intelligence behind him whatsoever. Tank is a walking stereotype. So there you have it. But I am getting sick and tired of anybody that has an opinion different from what the dim and dummies want us to say in regards to Kamala Harris. All of a sudden, we're under attack. Like I said before, I had a difference of opinion. When what jumped off, when some people refer to as the pandemic, when that first jumped off, I had a difference of opinion when it pertained to taking the potion. I never shamed anybody that took it. I gave my stance on it, and I just was trying to have an honest opinion. And this goofy baby animal looking nigga who I can, and like I told you, the offer still stands. The offer still stands. If you want to do the face to face, it's not going to turn out well for you, but it is what it is. Just started attacking me, trying to disrespect me. But he did it, he did it over the phone, because I guarantee you he wouldn't have did it in my face. But it is what it is. Hey, listen, stop trolling my channel, dude. Oh man. See, here we go. That was easy. I mean, it is what it is, dude. It's not going to turn out well for you, but you know. But yeah, as far as the Janet Jackson situation goes, why attack Janet Jackson? D.L. Hughley should be a man and apologize to her. That stuff he said about, well, she can't really sing and all that kind of stuff, man, stop it, dude. And it was funny, I was going to do a video about Janet Jackson anyway, because, Janet Jackson, man, one of my favorite Janet Jackson songs ever is, and it was a very underrated song too. People slept on that song, but then again, because of the video, and I guess because of the theme of the video, where she was basically talking about racism and apartheid, I think in South Africa, I think that was a little too much for people. And the song is called "Don't Know What You Got To Is Gone." So that's one of my favorite Janet Jackson songs. Really nostalgic. Like when I hear that song give me chills. That's when I hear that song, "Don't Know What You Got To Is Gone," And the thing is, I really didn't pay attention to the video. I seen the video, but I really wasn't paying attention to it. I used to love that song. I'm talking about that song just give me chills when I hear it. Yeah, that song give me chills. I think Jay Diller, the late great Jay Dilla did that beat, but whew, when I hear "Don't Know What You Got To Is Gone," that's probably my favorite Janet Jackson song. Very underrated song. People slept on that song. The video was fire. You need to watch the video because basically she was talking about racism and apartheid and stuff, in South Africa. And I was like, damn, I never really looked at that video like that. But I was just so into the song. Like I said, you know how you just hear a song and it just give you vibes. I'm talking about, you just have certain songs that just take you places. It just, it give you a good vibe. That's one of Janet Jackson's best songs. Now, it wasn't what you call it didn't do that well it didn't do very well as far as the charts go. It wasn't what you call a smash hit. It was a very underrated song. And I think a lot of people probably couldn't get into it because they didn't understand the video. Yeah, that I'm talking about Janet Jackson. You could tell the way she was singing, you could tell she put her soul, you could tell she was thinking about something when she recorded that song. And then when you saw the video, I was like, you know, yeah, yes, it's off the velvet rope. And by the way, the Velvet Rope was a very underrated Janet Jackson album. So for DL Hughley to sit up there and say that Janet Jackson can't sing and all that stuff, DL Hughley sound absurd. He sounds stupid, and it just need to be brought to the forefront. He really is displaying his ignorance. But then again, this is the same dude that's supposed to be so militant and pro-black. He goes on on white media outlets talking about black people. Yeah, there you have it. All right, you guys, got to get up out of here. Got to get ready for work. We'll be back in like an hour to discuss the harassment of Lamar Jackson. I don't know what it is about people always, messing with Lamar Jackson, but whatever.